All right, we started talking about some of the quarterbacks, and let's get to a couple of the quarterback issues around the league. And let's start in Pittsburgh. Yep. What is the latest with the Steelers quarterback situation here?
I know some people in that organization really well, and obviously not all the data's in, right? Today's going to be, just talked about it there. It's going to be a big game for Pickett, for Trubisky, and we're going to see some Rudolph as well because they're showcasing him. Could Kenny Pickett go out there and play so well against Lions backups that he wins the day? It's possible, but the sense I get from that organization is going into week one with an offensive line that is very unsettled. They might not have any starting caliber tackles on the roster. That's left, right, first string, second team. Like, there might not be any there. The interior offensive line is by no means something you can bank on either. They're implementing a new offense with Matt Canada with a lot of option concepts, a lot of things he brings with him from the college game. I'm not sure they're all about Kenny Pickett taking those hits, taking those bullets starting week one. They're paying Trubisky money for a reason. If this was anything close, and it has been, I believe they err on the side of the veteran. Let Pickett keep continuing to go and practice. Let's figure out if we're recalculating, shuffling this offensive line on the fly, because I have a feeling it's going to be really bad. And let's just see if Trubisky's athleticism to start in the option game with Najee Harris opens up something so that we're a little bit sustainable on that side of the ball, knowing it's really going to be wins and losses coming down to the defense. So I would lean Trubisky in this one. Obviously, we'll see what happens in this game, but they brought him there for a reason, and they don't feel a burning need to put Pickett out there week one.
All right, in Seattle, we don't have to wonder or question or wait. We know.
Yeah.
Geno Smith is the guy. He beats out Drew Lock. Translate this for me.
Well, look, Drew Lock's not an NFL caliber quarterback. I'm not sure he's even really a good backup, because the one thing you want from your backup is probably consistency, and he oscillates, and it's more bad than good. And just the processing of the game, the in-game decisions, ball placement, there's a lot left lacking. Let's be real. Pete Carroll is as old school as they come. Pete Carroll wants to run the football and just have the quarterback not bleep it up. That's where it got bad with Russell Wilson, is Russell wanting to expand things, and even for a quarterback of that magnitude, Pete Carroll kind of telling the offensive coordinator, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. So they look at Geno Smith. He's been around there longer. He's been in their locker room longer. They like some of the in-game decisions he made last year when Russell Wilson was hurt. And at the same time, this was always going to be a situation where Locke was going to have to prove it, and he did anything but prove it. But I will say this, their conviction, right, wrong, unfounded, crazy, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to label it, it is sincere in Geno Smith being a game manager type who they think they can win with. So this is not a team that's going to be doing anything, I don't believe, on the waiver wire or trade-wise between now and the early parts of the season to bring somebody else in there. Maybe as a backup if they just feel like Locke's not worth it. But this is Geno Smith's team for the foreseeable future.
All right, now to San Francisco, staying in the division. It's Trey Lance's team. Hasn't necessarily looked great in the preseason. He's going to run around. Guys get tackled. Guys get hurt. I know Jimmy Garoppolo's making a ton of money. Can he stay on this roster? Can he be the backup? Is he going to get traded? Is he going to get released? There's like 10 scenarios that could happen here. What do we know about San Francisco?
Well, EK, I can tell you this right now. There's no interest in Jimmy Garoppolo. They've never gotten close on a trade. And this isn't just a trade. It's a contract negotiation as well, because the team that takes him on is not going to want to pay him $25 million a year. So it would be a bit of a complicated trade. There isn't interest right now, and let's just do the math. There's 4 teams who are yet to play in the preseason. The 4 teams we've mentioned in this segment aren't, even if, God forbid, they lose a quarterback, they're not going after Garoppolo. So unless somebody gets hurt in practice the next couple of weeks, there is no trade market for there right now. Now, injuries certainly will start in the regular season, and that could change things, and frankly, that's what I believe the 49ers are banking on. If they had to go out and play today, I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo would be in the building. I think Jimmy Garoppolo would be a game day inactive, and they're essentially working with a 52-man roster and not a 53-man roster, because they're keeping him on bubble wrap, waiting to see if something emerges. But I don't see him being the guy on the sidelines right now either, because that would be a little weird. He's pretty much stayed away all preseason. The real deadline here is the trade deadline in the middle of the season. I think, that's when it's really go time. And do we want to pay this guy the rest of his salary for the other half of the year to stick around here as a third quarterback or whatever? You mentioned Trey Lance, how poorly he's done. And not everybody in that organization is completely sold on Trey Lance being better than Jimmy Garoppolo right now. So I think they keep him in that third role. They wait to see how the season opens with Lance. Does he get hurt? How does he operate? If we have to go to Garoppolo to save our season and he's still on our roster, we can do that. And in the interim, does somebody get hurt somewhere to where there's an actual, real trade market, not a salary dump, but a football trade to be made that just doesn't exist right now?
All right, so quick follow-up. If we were in Vegas and there was a board and a wager where Jimmy Garoppolo will be, 48 hours after the trade deadline, I know it could change in 5 minutes, but right now, what's your best guess?
They would like to move him, and the odds would say there'd be enough quarterback injuries of contending teams between now and November
So
to where
a contending team that has an injury. That would be the answer. That's fair?
Yes.
Great answer.
Yes.
I'll take that.
Yes.
I'll take that. Well done, JLC. Always a pleasure. Thank you very much, bud.
Thank you.
All right, help us raise money for St. Jude's. This is an unbelievably worthy cause. It's our Fantasy Football Today Draft-a-thon. Jamie, Dave, Heath, it's Wednesday, 6 p.m. We're going to help you prepare for your fantasy draft. Jim Nance, Pete Prisco, Will Brinson, and Niners All-Pro receiver Deebo Samuel, all going to be part of the festivities. Use the QR code to donate now.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.